Hiya guys. So 11 months later, and I won the court case. And I can't tell you how relieved I felt yesterday. Um, to be honest, I don't think it was really fair that the initial court case, he didn't turn up for whatever reason, and I won by default. And then when the bailiffs got involved, he wrote to the court, um, stating a load of BS. And basically, the judge gave him the opportunity to go in and fight his claim. Um, the judge saw right through it. At first, now looking back at it, I can see the judge was being fair to both parties. But at first, it was kind of like I just felt like the judge wasn't understanding exactly what Chris had been putting me through. But in the end, I totally agree. He was fair and very good at his job. Um, so yeah, the problem with the court case is that all the harassment that Chris has been doing to me over the last 6 years, all the online stuff, the trolling, setting up fake accounts and writing nasty things on my IMDb and all that crap, um, the court couldn't deal with that because this was a civil matter regarding the copyright infringement. So even though I tried to explain to the judge that this guy has been constantly harassing me by putting in fake copyright strikes and just basically trying to be a pain in my life, there wasn't really much he could do with regards to harassment. He said that that was a police matter. I've been to the police over Christopher Smith, and they couldn't help me because everything he was doing was on fake accounts, and it was hard to prove. So, yeah, basically, the judge yesterday put an injunction in place. So he's no longer allowed to steal the film or re edit it or recredit it or rename it or whatever he's been doing over the last 6 years. At the end of the trial, they could kind of see that what Chris Smith was doing was malicious. This wasn't a simple case of two filmmakers coming up with the same story and there being a copyright problem. This was in bad faith. Chris took that film. I proved that he actually initially bought the film from me, and he needed that full film to be able to cut off the title and the end credits and portray the film as his. I also explained to the judge that back in 2014, Chris had actually set up a Kickstarter page, which can be found online, and it was for a film called Set Me Free. A few years later, he's on my set stealing my film, calling it Set Me Free. So once I proved all this to the judge, it was quite obvious that Chris Smith was a liar and a thief. He did admit in the court case that the reasons he put the false copyright strikes into my YouTube channel, on the Actors Show Reels and Roofed 4, which he wasn't a part of, was out of anger. And the minute he said that, I think that kind of made the judge see that this guy is just spiteful, really immature, and I don't know, he's got such a misogynistic, arrogant attitude towards me. It kind of played out and it didn't do him any favors. So, yeah, it was really hard biting my tongue. And, when you're trying to explain to somebody what someone's been doing to you and they just don't seem to get it, or they're kind of taking what the liar and the narcissist is saying for words, it can be quite frustrating. But looking back how yesterday all played out, it's worked out for the best. So yeah, I was awarded the money, and I was given an injunction against Chris so that he can no longer basically harassed me by being a pain. That's what he was doing. Him renaming the film and putting it out there and putting himself as the producer, he's just made himself look like a plonker. Because, like I said before, there's a lot of people that were on that film, and quite a lot of actors interjected with each other, and everybody knows what it was all about and who was involved. So, yeah, in the long run, he's not really made himself look good. Sorry, my dog's trying to get in. 2 seconds. Oh. A quick bit about the flying monkeys. So when we were in court yesterday, Chris brought some man in with him, about the same age as Chris. I have no idea who he is. And he was sat, you had me, my daughter, and this guy, and then Chris. Apparently he came in for support. But whilst we were in the court case, he was sat there sniggering at me. And every time I was telling the judge exactly what Chris had been up to online and what he'd been doing to me, this kid that I didn't even know was sat there making gestures towards me to sort of say that I'm a liar, making it all up. You know, the kind of like... and this kid didn't have a clue what he was talking about. So I brought it to the judge's attention, what he was doing, and then he apologised. But again, it didn't really do Mr. Smythe any favours. So yeah, I'm glad it's all over, guys. You know, this guy has been a pain in my ass for the last 7 years. It's all been out of revenge. He teamed up with my rapist and his best mate. I don't really hear so much from Aaron Twin and his mate now, but it's Chris hasn't let it go. It's Chris. I don't know whether they've been egging him on to do this to me, and now he's kind of been left like to take the rap because I can't see them helping out to pay the court fees. But yeah, no, it's a new chapter to my life is now allowed to start. I can continue getting on with my other film projects because he kind of put a spanner in the works for Narc. Whilst I was dealing with a court case and Christmas and everything, I've just not been able to have the mind space to deal with the next project, which has been really not fair on the actors that are involved. And just for the people that didn't support me whilst I was going through this court case and didn't understand or didn't really give a shit what I was going through and the stress and the pressure I've been under, I'm not prepared to work with you in the future now. I've kind of, through this lesson, I've learned a lot about people, how spiteful and nasty and two-faced and backstabby people can be. And I'm not prepared to put up with it. I'm really not. It's pathetic behaviour. I'm not saying everybody in the film industry is like that because I've met some amazing people and they make it worthwhile. But unfortunately, I have had so many idiots come into my life due to filming that now if I see that kind of behaviour or you think you can just dick about or dick people around on set and that, you're gone. I can't be bothered with second chances or, you know, why did this person or tittle-tattling or drama or people shagging each other on set and then arguing 4 weeks down the line. It's pathetic. So, yeah, I'm done, to be honest. I'm going to have a break till April now and then I'm going to get back onto the Narc set, finish that off. But I think once that film's done, I think I'm going to concentrate more on my own acting career rather than doing the film production company and helping other people because all it's done is bring me stress. All it's done is bring me drama. And all the editing and the time I put into actually creating these showreel footage and stuff for people, it's not really appreciated by the masses. I'm not saying everyone's like that. I've got some really good people in my life, but there are a lot of bad potatoes and I say life's too short to be putting up with people's idiocy all the time. So yeah, guys, it's been 7 years, 7 years, finally got rid of him. Finally, the judge has acknowledged that I am the sole copyright owner of Roofid the Lethal Dose and the other Roofid franchises, and nobody else has the right to take my film, rename it, and pose as the producer of a film that, you know, he was only on set for a weekend. He pressed record on a camera. That doesn't give you authenticship of a film. You have to be the writer, you have to be the creator, you have to be involved financially. And Christopher Smith learnt that in court yesterday. So thank you so much again for your support. I am going to do a bigger video on the whole thing. Not so much about him. This is more about copyright and how you can protect your copyright. I don't want to give this man another time, like any more energy. That's it. We're done. I'm sure he's learnt his lesson. And his flying monkeys that still want to support him after he's done this to a woman, and I'm not the only woman, then they're cut from the same cloth and they can get on with it. Take care, guys. Have an amazing Christmas. Mwah. Love you all.